When I was little, we had a Victrola in the center of our house, the middle room we called it. If you dropped by, you might have heard this. Both Mom and Dad had their favorite records. Dad liked some old ones he had brought from his home, but this was Mom's choice. The singer was Hildegard, who got by with one name way before Cher or Madonna or Bono. Hildegard and Mom were about the same age, both blonde, both Midwesterners with German heritage, and this song resonated with my mom.
In a quaint caravan, there's a lady they call the gypsy. She can look in the future and drive away all your fears. Everything will come right if you only believe the gypsy. She could tell at a glance that my heart was so full of tears. She looked at my hand and told me my lover was always true. And yet in my heart I knew, dear, somebody else was kissing you. But I'll go there again, 'cause I want to believe the gypsy, that my lover is true and will come back to me someday.
Mom and her sister Elva had their share of romances, I was told. They had left the country a dozen or so years earlier. Although they maintained close ties with their brothers and sisters, they were on their own in the city and had friends and fun. Then the war came. Elva joined the service. Mom met and married my dad. I came along. She had a business and a house to take care of. She had a new life, one she wanted. But Hildegard was a glamorous nightclub singer, and this song was a long way away from washing and ironing.
She looked at my hand and told me my lover was always true. And yet in my heart I knew, dear, somebody else was kissing you. But I'll go there again, 'cause I want to believe the gypsy, that my lover is true and will come back to me someday.
Tonight, Gangbusters presents the case of the New York Narcotics King.
Our radio was near the Victrola. We all had our favorite radio programs. I liked Roy Rogers, Straight Arrow, Bobby Benson and the B-Bar-B Ranch, Charlie McCarthy. When I was 5, we got our television. It went in our front room. I remember standing in the doorway between the two rooms with one ear aimed at the radio and both eyes on the TV. I told Mom I couldn't decide between listening to Roy Rogers on radio or watching a regular cowboy on TV. Eventually I and Roy and Jean and the rest of the nation moved away from the radio and settled down in front of the television. Our coal stove heated the whole house from the middle room. I remember it well. When I was a toddler, I backed into it and fried my backside. Mom decided we needed a coat closet. Dad had a new big garage and woodworking tools, so he built a closet in the corner of the middle room. It had a latch like this. I was home alone after school one day when it was first built and explored the finished closet. Went inside, pulled the door closed, not my sharpest move. The latch latched. I was stuck and stayed stuck till Mom got home. School was out at 3:15. Mom's shop closed at 6. Told Dad I had to go to the bathroom real bad, but it blew over. Every now and again there would be a knock on our door. A man would ask something like, "Wondered if you had any chores I could do for a meal." I learned later that our house was marked, probably on the curb. The war had just ended, and there were a lot of, let's say, out-of-work travelers who would find a friendly house and mark it somehow for the next passerby. No one was ever turned away. Mom would think of some little job outside, fry up some eggs, potatoes, meat if she had it, make toast. She'd call him in. He'd leave with a full stomach and his dignity. Some of my earliest memories came from our yard. That pear tree, for example. Sometimes it was the first step when Mom fried chicken. There was a hook on that tree. Mom would put the chicken's head in the hook and chop it off. I remember watching once as she held a headless chicken by its feet while it flapped its wings, flew around her head, squirting blood in a great circle. I sure like Mom's fried chicken. I was 2, I guess, when Dad was having his new garage built. I watched men tear this one down. They all pushed the garage from the side, and the whole garage moved, then moved back. They kept pushing, and the garage kept rocking back and forth, till finally it collapsed with a crash. Kind of scary. After that, I went in the house. Mom said, "Chucky, what's the matter?" I said, "I've been a bad boy." Didn't take her long to figure out. That was the last time in my life I pooped my pants. So far. The upstairs of our house had 2 rooms, no bath. Mom and Dad's room, and Bugsy's and my room. Bugsy was my friend, told him all my secrets. His face was kissed off 2/3 of a century ago. But he's still with me. This picture was in my room. Mom used it so I wouldn't want a nightlight. Before I went to sleep, she would hold it to the light bulb for a few seconds, then turn the light out, and Bambi would glow in the dark till I fell asleep. This was also on my wall. It was embroidered by my dad's Aunt Elizabeth. These were my prayers. I said them every night. "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray thee, Lord, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray thee, Lord, my soul to take. If I should live for other days, I pray thee, Lord, to guide my ways." Every night before I went to bed, I was confronted with the possibility that I would die in my sleep. Felt pretty relieved when I woke up in the morning, but thought it just increased the odds I wouldn't make it through the next night. Confronting the prospects of death every night must have helped me deal with so much death that literally surrounded me. Mr. Sparks, Bobby Sparks, Essie's mom, and Essie's husband, my friend John. On Sundays, we'd often take a trip to the country, sometimes up to Delaware to see my mom's brother Houghton and his wife Marcita, but usually out east to Pataskla to visit Mom's sister Opal and Billy and the kids, where we were welcomed warmly by every member of the family. And we'd stop to see Mom's sister Blanche and Charlie, who lived nearby. Opal was Mom's younger sister, but was married and gone when she was 19. Billy was farming on the shares during those first years. The way the shares worked was that the worker got a third, the landowner got a third, and a third went back into the land for seed and fertilizer and such. When Opal and Billy had a chance to buy land, Mom, who had her business going by that time, loaned them $500, a lot of money during the Depression. The loan was paid back promptly. But when Billy talked to Mom, he always referred to the farm as our farm. And Mom would always come home from the country with corn or eggs or something. That's me with Uncle Billy. I sure liked him. Family ties never showed stronger than with the story of Esther and Blanche, Mom's 2 older sisters. Both married young. After the First World War, Esther married a returning doughboy, Charlie Black. This picture of Charlie was taken some 35 years later. Esther and Charlie had 5 children. Mom helped out and babysat while she was still at home taking care of her mother. Then after Mom and Elva moved to Columbus, they both helped with Esther and Charlie's family. Esther took sick one day with a pain in her stomach. Mom told me she delayed going to the doctor because she had ironing to finish. Mom went in to watch the kids and house. She said that while she was working there, she heard the door close as if someone had come in or gone out. But when she checked, no one was there. That puzzled her. Later, Mom learned that that was just about the time Esther died. She had appendicitis. That left Charlie Black with 5 young children. Blanche was divorced by this time, and clearly there were needs. Blanche took care of things. She married Charlie and became mother of the 5 children, who all grew up to have families of their own. Ruthie, the youngest, kept the circle going by coming into town to help Mom and take care of me when I was an infant. Blanche and Charlie worked together to raise their family and had a long and loving marriage. After Blanche died, I believe Charlie would have liked to have made it a hat trick with the Harris girls and married my mom. He certainly did not want to go to a nursing home, and he let everyone know that. But he spent the last years of his life in one, and that took its toll on his children and their relationships. My Uncle Howden, too, hated the idea of a nursing home, and when he had to go into one, he simply gave up on life, I think. Nursing homes were a dreaded future for many in that generation. My mom never expressed that sentiment to me. She was always fiercely independent and didn't want to be a burden. But when she had her stroke, our family had to make a decision in a hurry. We had recently moved from Shaker Heights, where Mary Kay had poured her heart and soul into Parents' Day Out, a program she created at Plymouth Church. Giving that up was hard, but she had found a new outlet at the Y Camp near us where she was hired to start new programs. She embraced the challenge. She was doing what she loved again. How could I possibly ask her to leave something she loved just when she was getting started to take care of my mom? I did, and she did. She quit her job because I asked her to. Jason and I drove down to Mom's apartment in Columbus, loaded a trailer with her stuff, and took her from the hospital to her new home. For nearly 3 years, Mary Kay cared for my mom, bathing, dressing, toileting, feeding. She took care of the whole family, including Salty. And Mom was happy. She spent many days sitting on our sun porch, often with a book in her lap, open to the same page for hours. She could check out the backyard, see what was blooming, and watch Mary Kay work. And she was near her grandchildren. Our family went to church every Sunday. Once a month, the Ladies' Auxiliary had a luncheon afterward. This month's menu: ham-rich bean soup, gingerbread with Dream Whip, some of Mom's favorites. When we got home, she was content, but tired. Just before she took her nap, she said to me, "Chucky, you're a good son." Then she went to sleep and didn't wake up. I told Mary Kay, and I told her often, that there is no way I could ever repay what she did for my mom and for me. I was wrong.